All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Diana, and I'm recently started to do fasting. So I thought maybe if I had a YouTube channel where I was doing videos, and that it might help keep me a little bit more accountable, and get some encouragement when I'm like, I'm hungry. And maybe, if somebody else is considering it, maybe they can watch this and see what my experience has been. So first, I'd like to share with you why or how I came about even knowing about fasting. I have been suffering from, oh gosh, let me see. I wrote it down somewhere. For quite a few years. Fibromyalgia, arthritis, scalp psoriasis, high blood pressure, diabetes, to name a few things. So I was on prescription medication for a long time. And then, you start getting side effects from the prescription medication, and then you have to take another medication. And I just got to a point where I was like, I'm so done. I mean, I can either, I'd rather live with the pain of the issues that I've been diagnosed with than the side effects that were damaging organs. So I set out. It's been a few years of trying to figure out how can I fix this stuff naturally so that I don't have to take medication. I've tried just about every diet out there with a little bit of success on all of them. What I was not able to do was stick with them long term, because everything cuts something out or limits things, and I don't like that. When I want something, I want to eat it, and which is probably what got me in this mess to begin with. So my main reason of trying to fast is like I'm kind of I feel kind of desperate, like I'll try anything at this point, because the pain level has gotten very high, and I'm starting to get some other symptoms that are kind of scary, and I'm not sure what they're from. I could go to the doctor, but it would just be, you need to take this and this and this and this and this medicine, and if you don't, my fear is that if I didn't, and I said I'm not going to do that, how can I do this naturally, that they would say, well, if you're not going to do what we tell you to do, then we're not going to treat you. So, which is fine. I haven't been to the doctor for quite a while because I don't want to be on the medicines. So, I guess one of the things when I was looking up, how do I treat diabetes? What are some ways to either treat it naturally or just straight up cure it? Which, of course, I was always told that you can't cure diabetes. Once you're a diabetic, you'll always be a diabetic. The best you can hope for is to control it with these medicines that are going to mess up some of your other organs. I just started, here we go with, online and the internet and YouTube, and I just started searching, how can you cure diabetes naturally? So I came across Dr. Jason Fung, F-U-N-G. He has a YouTube channel. He is out of Canada, and I believe he's a nephrologist. And he found that, most of his patients were diabetics. So he got very interested in, if we can get a handle on diabetes, then it'll fix all these kidney patients that I have. So he, lots of years of research, discovered that fasting can cure it. Like, done, no more diabetes, no more pricking your finger and taking oral medication and shots in your abdomen and all that fun stuff. So I thought it was interesting, but I didn't try it because I guess one, I wasn't desperate enough, and two, I was like, oh, I don't know, I haven't heard this in any other medical community, so kind of leery of it. And I hate to be hungry. I mean, like, anybody that knows me, especially my poor children, when I'm hungry and there's no light at the end of the tunnel of when I'm going to get food, I'm not a nice person. So it was like, yeah, it sounds really great, but not sure I want to try that. So months go by, and my pain gets worse, the arthritis gets worse, and then I don't know, I suck at time, but it seems like about a year ago, I started getting this spot on my back, that just the same spot, and it would just itch, just that spot. And I was just like, okay, whatever, I thought it was kind of odd that, a hair is getting down in my shirt in the same spot every time, but I didn't really think too much about it. And then a couple months ago, one time when I was scratching it, I noticed that my skin on top of where it was itching, it was itching under the skin, but the top of my skin was numb. And again, I was like, I have no idea what that is, but whatever. Well, then in the last week or so, underneath the itching, the pain got so severe. And, I thought it was, stress related, because you get all tense and whatever. And so again, I went to the internet, and I didn't even have to finish typing in the bar what I was experiencing. I think I started with something like numb skin, and then it came up on the back. So I clicked on it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a thing. It even described where it's located. It's like, it will normally be on your left side, between your shoulder blade and the bottom of your shoulder blade and your spine. And so, of course it comes up with, everything on the internet leads to cancer. I didn't go that far down the rabbit hole, but it was, it could be MS, it could be heart issues because, it goes straight back from where your heart is. And then another thing was a pinched nerve. And so the next morning I was trying to stretch my neck, and when I got to a certain point looking down, the pain in that one spot just zapped, and I was like, okay, I think it's a pinched nerve. And then I watched a YouTube video. What's the name of that? Oh, Wild We Roam. He did a 7-day water fast because he had a back injury. So he had heard that somebody else's back had healed when they did a 7-day water fast. So he tried it. So the whole video is his process, what he went through in those 7 days. By the third day he was much better, and by the 7th day he was completely normal. His back pain was completely gone. So there it was again, and but I was like, again, it's fasting, water only for 7 days, and I hate to be hungry. So I didn't do it. I just talked about it. But then when the pain got so bad, I was like, I will do anything. I don't want to go to the doctor because they're going to be like, well, one, they're going to want to take an x-ray, and I don't need any more of those rays going in me. They're going to give me a muscle relaxer and ibuprofen or something. And muscle relaxers, all they've ever done for me is put me to sleep. They've never made my back pain go away. So I'm like, okay, I could go to a chiropractor. That's a lot of money. Or even if I find one that my insurance covers, then I got to make an appointment and I got to go in and hope it works. And because I love chiropractors and I've been to several in my lifetime, and some of them were like, I'm not ever going back there. So I was like, you know what? I can do this. I can do 7-day. I can do it. I can do a 7-day fast, only water. So 2 days ago, I started. I was doing so well, when you first wake up. And then by like 7 p.m., I had a massive headache, and I was I've never been so hungry that the stomach, this growling stomach hurt. It was such a horrible pain, and the pain would go straight back right to that spot on my back. So I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. So I decided to do something else, which I'll get into. Of course, my battery's about ready to die. So I think I'm going to end this here. I just wanted to introduce myself and kind of let you know why I'm starting to do fasting. So I told you what the issues that I have of what I want to get rid of. So now, the positive reasons, what I'm also looking for in fasting is self-improvement, reprogramming and reconditioning my mind and body, increased immunity, which is one of the things that is supposed to come from fasting, and to develop a new relationship with food, because when you get really hungry, like when you fast, and then when you taste something, you eat something that you normally wouldn't eat because it's healthy and you just don't like the way it tastes. When you get to that point of hunger, it tastes good. So, I want to get to a point where that's the kind of food that tastes good and that I want. I'm also doing it for strength, physical strength, and mental strength, to increase my vitality, and of course for better health. So next time I will get into what is fasting, and all the different ways you can do it, and some terminology definitions, and what fasting can do for you. So anyway, next time when I go into all that, I will leave a bunch of links in the description box that you can look stuff up yourself instead of just taking my word for it. So